Hey guys, Tom Cherryhums here with a status update for the Atari Educational System eduencode library. As far as I'm concerned, the library itself is now finished, as I have finished up the necessary bits for querying and writing down answers. So that pretty much takes care of everything. And with that, that also means that the library has been fully refactored into a proper shared library now, which means now, if you unpack, you will see the eduencode library code here by itself, plus a testing harness so you can see how it actually works, along with a makefile to take and compile it. This should compile just fine on any system with a standard ANSI C compiler and make. And once we have this, we see that what we have here is the libeduencode library, which can be linked to statically. It's so small, you might as well just link to it statically. And the testing harness right here. So what happens here? What's changed? Let's have a look. Well, if we actually go into eduencode C, you'll see that this has now been cleaned up of the main function here, and everything is now prefixed with edu to make it clean to conclude with other programs so that there's no namespace conflicts. And we've added a function in here to automatically write the header for wave format files. This is a private function, and it is automatically called when you do eduopenFile. EduopenFile is the first thing that you try to launch, that you try to do when you make a new education tape, which you can see right here. First thing you do, you pass it back a file pointer, which you use subsequently in everything else. And when you're done, be sure to close the file so that it A, actually closes the file, but also B, writes the appropriate wave header at the start of the file so that you will be able to play it. Now, as far as what's also been added here, as I said earlier, it is now possible to do queries so that you can say, okay, which answer is which. And to do that, it's actually a two-step process. The first step is you have to set the correct answer that you want to be able to key off of, in which case I've added 3 new enumerations, answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. And that will take and add it into the stream automatically. This does register as a character, so be sure to do it where you're not displaying something important. Write out your little test answers here, and then you wait for the answer. This will stop the tape and allow the user to pick the correct answer. Incorrect answers will cause a beep. The correct answer will cause the tape to advance. That's about the extent of it. It's pretty simple. So with that, we now have as part of the archive that I'm going to post up, a complete example done inside test eduencode, so you can see how it works, how to use it, and it's pretty simple. Just eduopen, use the eduAPI commands that are in the eduencode.h. Be sure to include eduencode.h appropriately, and then when you're done, close file. And for reference, this is what you ultimately have access to. Your background color, border color, highlight color, and correct answers, answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, and your individual file function, your individual functions for writing individual bytes, writing strings, pause, clear, highlight blinks, background color, border, and setting individual colors, as well as specifying the correct answer and waiting for an appropriate answer. That's the whole API, fellas. It's as simple as it gets, and the whole thing is completely self-contained. So it's teeny tiny and insanely simple to use for anybody who wishes to make a fully featured authoring system, which I hope somebody does. I do not have the energy to do it at present. Maybe later. So with that, let's actually run it and see what happens. recall that we compiled our test harness earlier here and the eduencode libraries. So now we have a test file. Now we have a test eduencode that we can run here. And right out of the bat, because I specified the file, hard-coded the file inside of the test eduencode harness, it makes the wave file automatically. It's already a wave file. I can show you right here, test eduencode wave. It is indeed a RIF wave audio, Microsoft PCM 16-bit stereo 44/100 Hz file, ready to load into whatever you want to, such as Audacity. Here, I'll show you here. We load it up, just open, no need to import, no need to do any channel swapping, no need to do any little messing around here. We just open it. And we find that everything is in the right place. The data is in the right-hand side. The left-hand side is open, waiting for you to take and pop your voiceovers in to do whatever you need to do. It's all there, ready to go. Perfect, isn't it? So, as a matter of fact, we can take that file. Notice I didn't do anything to it in Audacity whatsoever. And I'm just going to move it over the network, so my Atari emulated computer can get to it. And once we do that, I'm going to simply launch Altirra and see what comes up. Okay, as always, load the cassette. Oh, come on. Yeah. We load the cassette. And we hit start. Recall that answers 1, 2, and 3 for later. There's no voiceover track, so it'll be silent here. But as we can see, here it is, streamed off and showing off real-time color changes. And it's a nice little explanation here. And yes, this is ultimately the aim of the project, to be used as an archaeological tool documenting the entirety of the Atari Educational System, showing off how old tapes were made, as well as how new tapes can be made. And as we can see here, it outputs a standard wave file, which can be read by anything and dumped to tape with the appropriate equipment. And little faux graphics here, just to show it can be done. And finally, it's asking me a question. Which license is eduencode licensed under? GPL version 1, version 2, or version 3? Well, for the purpose of this, we're licensing it under GPL version 3. If I go ahead and type one of the other answers, it's going to beef at me. If I go ahead and type the correct answer, the tape will start again, and it will actually continue on as I left off. And yes, I thank you guys for testing this, for looking at it, for giving me all the encouragement in the world. It's been an absolutely fantastic ride. We're almost at the end of the tunnel here. Now it's actually taking and documenting everything that I found thus far. So more to come a bit later. I will talk to you guys soon enough. See ya.